It's not bad, what? You're gonna give the little battle rattle a tickle. Full auto. Look at that insane grouping on full auto. Hey guys, today we have the Tokyo Marui Steyr AUG High Cycle 10 edition. Whoa, there it is, the Steyr AUG. So as you can see, it's a nice Tokyo Marui packaging. We have a high cap magazine, atrocious, but it's all we got so far. And we have the Hontai, which is the actual toy itself. There we go, guys, the Steyr AUG. This is based off the A3, I think, the Commando, the small version. So it seems to be full plastic except for the lower receiver here. The rail is disappointingly plastic as well, but it's whatever, I guess. I'm kind of disappointed that the front rail is plastic as well, but the lower receiver is metal. And it comes with the Takedown grip, so that's cool. Okay, just by holding right now, so it's really weird because the weight is in the back. So the gearbox is in the back, so the weight is in the center, but as I hold it right now, you know, it's not actually that bad. You know, it's actually pretty balanced because the weight is all in your center of gravity instead of having it out in the front. So it's actually a lot easier to maneuver. So we have our waffle high cap magazine, battle rattle. Horrible. Some accessories, some Tokyo Marui 20B base, an adapter. So this is for suppressors and stuff like that, which is good because you have to extend the barrel a bit or it's gonna touch the receiver. And then we have a front post adjuster, which you won't use, and a muzzle cap that you'll never use either. So of course it's a bolt up because the gearbox is in the back and the bolt carrier and everything is in the back. So you reload it this way. Let's go tip to butt and break this thing down. So at the front here, we have a proprietary bird cage, very small, it's made of metal, which is really cool. Then we have the Picatinny rail, so you can attach anything to this. It doesn't have to be this tango down. It is removable by unscrewing it, just like a regular tango down. You can put an angle foregrip, whatever you want. And then on top, we have our plastic rail, kind of disappointing, but it keeps the toy light. And then we have a side rail here as well. So this will be good for a flashlight or a camera if you want to put that on there. And then we have the charging handle, which I'm excited to see because this looks like it's full metal. And if I pull this, it actually reveals the hop-up unit on the right side here. But it looks like, and this is the important part, so the actual handle itself is plastic, but the actual part is metal. So you can, so it has a two-stage spring. So it has one spring here and then it ends here. So this very light part should prevent it from snapping right out. All right, so next is the pistol grip. It is built into the receiver. You cannot change it out. And it is the AUG shape we all know. So it has a very wide hole for gloves and it allows you to have your hand right in front of the magazine. So it's actually quite ergonomic if you kind of pull it into your body. So moving on, we have the safety select. So all the way to the right is safe, cannot pull the trigger. Put it in the middle, it is semi-auto. And then all the way will be two-stage trigger. So you have the semi and then you have the full auto. Semi and then full auto. And this is mechanical, so it's not an ETU. And a lot of people complain about this trigger, but it's gonna be about learning the wall, and that's what kind of makes it unique. And apparently the real AUG is also this trash when it comes to the trigger. So moving on, we have the waffle mag, 30 rounds, and then we have the switch. So this is actually quite different. You have to push down on it like this. So I don't know who thought these ergonomics are great, but they're really not. And then you can see in the magazine well that is where the hop up is and everything like that. And on the butt of the AUG, the big butt if you will, we have the sling point as well as the Tokyo Marui insignias. Opposite of the hop chamber, you have a rubber pad that you could actually take off and expose the other side of the hop. Because of this ambidextrous design on the real AUG, you can change where the ejection port is. But on here, it's just a rubber pad. So we're just gonna keep it on the left side here because I'm a right-handed person. And lastly, we have the iron sights, which actually have a nice open design, so they're pretty easy to look through, which has an adjustable front post using that tool we had, and then we have the adjustable rear sight post, which can be adjusted with the included dial. So let's go ahead and give this thing a test fire, and we're gonna do that by taking out the battery in the back here. All right, so by pulling on the edges of the butt pad, you can take it out and reveal the battery connection. We have a fuse and a Tamiya. I'm gonna be using my 20C 7.4 LiPo, which I use for basically everything. And we're gonna throw it in here because NIM sucks. I'm gonna put some iPro on and here we go. Let's go semi-auto. It's not bad, what? That's good. I don't know what people are complaining about. It's weird because the gearbox is in the back of the receiver, so you can actually feel it all moving around inside. That's fine with the LiPo. So if I put it to full auto, it will become a two-stage trigger. So by pulling halfway, it is just semi, and if I pull all the way, it'll go full auto. Holy mac. That feels great. I like it kind of better than the P90, but my P90 is a lot more responsive because of the micro switch, but that reload is hard. But anyway, that's good. I like that. Really, really nice. Let's go and test fire this thing now. All right, guys, as usual, we have our little target set up over there, like 5 meters or something like that. And this time we have a high capacity magazine, so it has a little chamber. You get your 2-gram BBs. Fits around 300. You're gonna give the little battle rattle a tickle until it feeds the BBs up. As you can see here, kind of pushes them up. And here we go, semi-auto. Okay, so once we kind of got the zero, the groupings are pretty good. The hot kind of has to work itself out. So why don't we go ahead and shoot this on full auto now. Full auto. Jesus. Look at that insane grouping on full auto. All right, well, we got some BBs left. Let's just spray this thing. Jesus. You know, and it still has some BBs left in it. So why don't we use the rest of it on a chrono test? Hop off, here we go. 81, 82, 81. Let's put the hop up a bit. 80, 83. Yeah, I mean, 83-ish, pretty good. All right, guys, so this is probably gonna be my build for now. Super simple. We just put on the little extended barrel that you use for suppressors just to keep it there. Makes it a little bit longer. And we just threw in a simple T1 on a reflex level riser. And it's really nice. The handling is really cool on this thing. It actually feels a lot more intuitive than you think it does. You know, I was a little bit skeptical of bolt pups. But once I've actually held it in my hands and gotten used to that trigger, it's actually quite maneuverable. And it has a 260 millimeter inner barrel. So it's really, really intuitive. It's gonna be short and it can go really long range. And it's really up there in terms of ergonomics. You just gotta get used to it. Safety you also get used to as well. Just go to low ready. I also put a little bit of silicone oil from time to time on this charging handle. Makes it a lot easier to maneuver. And also on the magwell. One thing I will say about this is that it is only a 1-point sling. So it does go down pretty low, will hit you in the nuts. So maybe I can find a solution to put another sling point here or something like that. I also figured out the reloads. So basically, instead of keeping it into your body like this, you can basically bring it out in front of you. So you get a nice view of the workspace and the gun. So one thing with the AUG is that you can actually take it down really easily. So by pressing this button here and pushing it out like this, you can actually take apart the receivers like this. As you can see, all the functioning parts are there. So you can see that the charging handle is attached to a dual spring system. And you can see here that it's not gonna break because when you actually rack that charging handle, it goes right onto here like this. So it should be good. And we also have the actual hop-up unit you can access as well. And you can easily slide it back in just by sliding it just like a P90 and then just like that, and it's good to go. You can also take out the barrel, rack the charging handle, press this mushroom tip, and you can take it out just like this. So what do I think about the AUG? I think it's actually a lot better than people said it was. A lot of people are saying this gun is trash and the trigger sucks. But honestly, since I've already used the P90, it feels exactly the same. If not, it feels a little bit better because it's mechanical. So I could actually feel a trigger contact when I pull on something rather than a micro switch. The weight is actually something to get used to, but once you get used to it and put in your center of gravity, it's actually quite nice to use. The reloads are kind of hard, but I think that's just gonna take some time to get used to. Breaking the mag, but once you kind of get used to it, see, super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Probably the only disappointing part is the plastic rail and the plastic rail here, as these get the most abuse. I think if you just upgrade it with an FET, you can get even snappier response, but honestly, I think it's fine. It's a high cycle, so like it does well with the 7.4 LiPo, and it's gonna be a fun new platform to show you guys on video and just train with. So now I officially have like almost every platform, I guess. that you can kind of use in Airsoft and kind of learn everything, because I'm an Airsoft operator like that. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to give you guys gameplay in the future. Peace.